What is the most dangerous prison in the world? It isn't made of steel bars or stone walls. It's not a place you are sent to by a judge. It is a prison you build yourself, brick by meticulous brick, day after day. It's a comfortable prison, even a luxurious one. It has soft beds, endless entertainment, and a warden who knows you better than anyone else in the world. Because that warden is you. And the bricks that build this prison, the ones that seal you off from your potential, your power, and your destiny, are forged from four simple, seductive, and soul-destroying words. I'll start one more day. This is the anthem of the lazy genius, the person who is brilliant but broken, the one who has read all the books, watched all the videos, and can architect a perfect life plan in their head, but whose feet remain cemented to the floor. You know who I'm talking about. You might be one. You have the intellect to conquer empires, but you lack the discipline to conquer your morning alarm. You have the creativity to reshape the world, but you allow your energy to be siphoned away by cheap dopamine and meaningless distractions. You are a king or a queen living in voluntary exile, convinced that the coronation is always just one more day away. Today, that lie ends. This is not another gentle nudge. This is not another list of productivity hacks you'll forget by lunchtime. This is a declaration of war. This is the lazy genius's wake-up call, a Stoic's war on one more day. We are not here to negotiate with the part of you that wants to stay small. We are here to arm the part of you that is screaming to be unleashed. We will use the ancient, battle-tested principles of Stoicism, not as a philosophy for passive acceptance, but as a weapon for radical self-mastery. This is your officer's briefing for the most important conflict of your life, the internal war against the saboteur of one more day. This war is fought on 5 fronts, 5 critical battlefields where your future is won or lost. Pay attention because the fight begins now. There are no more delays. There are no more excuses. There is only the cold, hard reality of the choice you make in this very moment. To remain a prisoner or to pick up your weapon and fight for your own freedom. Battle 1. The treason of the mind. Recognizing the enemy within. The first rule of warfare is to know your enemy. In this war, the enemy is a master of disguise. It doesn't look like a monster, it looks like you. It sounds like your own voice, your own rationalizations. It is the lazy genius persona, an identity you've cultivated, perhaps even taken a strange pride in. It's the traitor within the gates of your own mind. This traitor is sophisticated. It doesn't use crude arguments. It uses your own intelligence against you. It whispers, "You're not being lazy, you're strategizing. You need more information before you start." It says, "You work so hard, you deserve a break. Real change can wait until you're properly rested." It weaponizes perfectionism, telling you, "Don't release that project, don't start that business, don't have that difficult conversation until it's absolutely perfect." It knows that perfect is a finish line that doesn't exist, ensuring you never actually start the race. This is the treason of the mind. It's the act of using your God-given reason to justify spiritual and mental sloth. The ancient Stoics had a name for this reason, this guiding principle of the cosmos and the human mind, the logos. They believed our highest purpose was to live in accordance with this divine reason. But the lazy genius commits the ultimate perversion. They use their logos not to find truth, but to construct more comfortable lives. Consider the story of a man we'll call Elias. Elias was a brilliant architect, renowned in his small circle for his visionary designs that existed only in pristine notebooks and complex computer models. His colleagues knew he had the talent to redefine skylines. He'd talk for hours, with intoxicating passion about sustainable materials, revolutionary spatial dynamics, and buildings that breathed with the city. He had it all figured out. Yet Elias had never actually built anything significant. He worked a stable, unfulfilling job at a large corporate firm, doing minor revisions on other people's boring designs. His personal prison was a masterpiece of self-deception. When a prestigious design competition was announced, his friends urged him to enter. The traitor in his mind immediately went to work. The submission requirements are too restrictive, it would say. They won't appreciate my true vision. Or, I need to refine this one concept a little more. I'll enter the next one. I'll be more prepared in one more day, one more month, one more year. His genius was a shield he used to deflect the terrifying possibility of action. By never entering the arena, he could maintain the perfect, untested image of his own brilliance. Failure wasn't a possibility because victory was never attempted. His potential was his cage. The first act of war is to put this traitor on trial. The Stoic practice of self-examination isn't a gentle fireside chat with your feelings. It's a brutal, honest interrogation. You must become a ruthless prosecutor of your own excuses. Here is your first tactical maneuver. Tonight, before you sleep, take out a piece of paper. On one side, write down the one thing you know you should be doing, the business you should be starting, the workout plan you should be on, the book you should be writing, the honest conversation you must have. On the other side, write down every single reason you've given yourself for not doing it. Don't censor yourself. Write down the sophisticated lies. I'm too tired. I don't have the right equipment. I'm waiting for the right moment. What if I fail? What if people laugh? Write it all down. Now look at that list of excuses. Read them out loud. Hear how they sound outside the echo chamber of your skull. This is the voice of the saboteur. This is the enemy. You must see it for what it is, not rational protection but cowardly treason, a betrayal of your highest self. As Seneca wrote, it is not that we have a short time to live but that we waste a lot of it. You are wasting it by listening to a coward. Your first victory is not in action but in awareness. It's in the cold, sickening realization that you have been your own jailer. You must look that inner traitor in the eye and say, I see you, I know your name, and your reign is over. This recognition is the first shot fired in the war. It's the moment the lazy genius begins to die and the stoic warrior begins to awaken. Battle 2, seizing the morning, the first strike. The war on one more day is won or lost in the first hour of the day. The battlefield is your bed. The enemy's primary weapon is the snooze button. It is here, in the warm, comfortable darkness, that the traitor's voice is most seductive. It whispers lullabies of mediocrity. Just 5 more minutes. You need the rest. The world can wait. Your potential can wait. It will all be there for you tomorrow. Every time you hit that snooze button, you are signing a peace treaty with weakness. You are casting a vote for the person you were yesterday, not the person you are fighting to become. You are surrendering the day before it has even begun. A Stoic warrior understands that the morning is the beachhead. If you cannot take the beach, you will never win the war. This is where we deploy one of the most powerful weapons in the Stoic arsenal, the dichotomy of control. As Epictetus taught, some things are up to us and some things are not. The feeling of tiredness when your alarm goes off, not entirely up to you. The chemical processes in your brain begging for more sleep, not up to you. But the movement of your own limbs, the decision to swing your feet out of bed and place them on the floor, that is 100% up to you. It is the one thing in that moment you have absolute, sovereign control over. Let us return to Elias, our brilliant but inert architect. After his brutal self-interrogation, he recognized the voice of his inner traitor. He declared war, and he knew the first battle would be at 5:00 a.m. For years, his alarm was a suggestion, a distant chime he'd lazily bat away. But this time was different. The night before, he prepared for battle. He laid out his workout clothes. He filled his water bottle. He put his alarm clock across the room, forcing him to physically get up to turn it off. This is a form of premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. The Stoics would imagine the worst that could happen to prepare their minds. Elias imagined the siren song of the warm bed, the weakness in his limbs, the rationalizations that would flood his mind. He prepared his defense. At 5:00 a.m. the alarm blared. It was jarring. For a moment everything in him screamed for retreat. The traitor's voice was a roar. This is insane. You'll be exhausted all day. This won't make a difference. Start tomorrow when you've had a full night's sleep. Just one more day. But Elias had prepared. He didn't argue with the voice. He didn't negotiate. He didn't weigh the pros and cons. He executed the plan. He remembered the dichotomy of control. He couldn't control the voice, but he could control his body. He threw the covers off, a shock of cold air. He stood up. He walked to the alarm. He silenced it. His feet were on the floor. The first strike was a success. He hadn't conquered the world. He had just conquered his pillow. But in that small, brutal act of will, he had fundamentally shifted his identity. He was no longer a man who planned to wake up early. He was a man who did. This is your second tactical maneuver, the zero hesitation protocol. The moment your alarm goes off, you have 5 seconds. 5 seconds before the traitor's voice fully mobilizes its army of excuses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In those 5 seconds, your only objective is to move. Stand up. No thought, no debate, just pure physical action. It is a declaration that your body is ruled by your will, not by your comfort. Furthermore, you must weaponize your morning. The first hour is not for checking your phone. Checking your phone in the morning is like inviting 1,000 screaming merchants into your mind before your general has even woken up. It floods your brain with other people's agendas, anxieties, and advertisements. It is an act of mental surrender. Your first hour is for you. It is for sharpening your sword. This could be exercise that awakens the body. It could be meditation or journaling that fortifies the mind. It could be reading the words of the great Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, to inoculate yourself with wisdom before you face the world. You must build a morning ritual that serves you, one that reminds you of the war you are fighting and the person you are becoming. Seizing the morning is not about becoming a morning person. It's about becoming a disciplined person. It's about proving to yourself at the earliest possible moment that you are in command. Win this first battle and you carry that momentum of victory throughout the day. Lose it and you spend the rest of the day fighting from a position of defeat. The choice is yours. It is made in the dark, in the cold, in the 5 seconds between the alarm and the action. Take the beachhead. The war depends on it. Battle 3, the fortress of habit, building your defenses. A single victory, no matter how heroic, does not win a war. Winning the battle of the morning is crucial, but the enemy, your old self, the lazy genius, is resilient. It will counterattack. It will look for weaknesses in your defense. It will strike when you are tired, stressed, or discouraged. Procrastination and mediocrity thrive in chaos and inconsistency. Therefore, your long-term survival depends on building an impenetrable fortress. That fortress is built brick by brick, with the mortar of discipline. That fortress is a system of non-negotiable habits. The lazy genius despises habits. Habits are the antithesis of the "I'll do it when I feel inspired" mentality. Inspiration is a fickle muse, it visits when it pleases. Discipline is a hardened soldier, it shows up for duty regardless of the weather. The Stoics knew this. They didn't see virtue as a feeling but as a practice. Courage, wisdom, justice, and temperance were not abstract ideas. They were qualities to be drilled daily like a muscle until they became second nature. Your new life is not built on grand, sweeping gestures. It is built on the relentless, often boring, execution of small, daily promises to yourself. Let us revisit Elias the architect. After his victory over the alarm clock, he felt a surge of power. The traitor in his mind was momentarily silenced. But the next day he faced a new challenge: what to do with his newfound morning hour. His ultimate goal, to design and submit a competition-winning building, was massive, overwhelming. The lazy genius saw this massive goal and whispered, "See, it's too big, you don't even know where to start. Maybe you should just use this hour to plan a little more." This is a classic enemy tactic, using the sheer scale of the mission to induce paralysis. But the newly awakened Stoic warrior in Elias knew better. He wasn't going to build the entire cathedral in a day. He was just going to lay one single, perfect brick. He made a new rule, a new cornerstone for his fortress. 1 hour, one task. For 1 hour every morning from 5:30 to 6:30 a.m. he would work on his competition design. No email, no news, no research that was actually just disguised procrastination. Just focused work on the design itself. Some days he made huge progress, sketching out entire floor plans. Other days he struggled, spending the entire hour trying to solve a single structural problem. It didn't matter. The victory was not in the output. The victory was in showing up and doing the work. He was laying a brick. This is your third tactical maneuver, the law of the minimum standard. You must define the absolute non-negotiable minimum you will do each day to advance your mission. The lazy genius thinks in all-or-nothing terms. Either I do a 2-hour brutal workout, or I do nothing. The Stoic warrior thinks in terms of a minimum standard. My non-negotiable minimum is 20 push-ups and a 10-minute walk. I can do more, but I will never do less. Identify your mission. Is it physical transformation? Your minimum standard might be a 15-minute workout. Is it building a business? Your minimum standard might be sending one outreach email. Is it writing a book? Your minimum standard might be writing 200 words. This standard must be so manageable that you have absolutely no excuse to skip it, even on your worst day. It's the brick you lay regardless of your mood, your energy levels, or the circumstances of your day. This practice accomplishes two things. First, it kills the inertia. An object at rest stays at rest. The minimum standard forces you into motion. Often, once you start, you find the energy to do more. The 200 words become 1,000. The 15-minute workout becomes 45. Second, and more importantly, it relentlessly rewires your identity. On the days you only write 200 words, you are still a writer. On the days you only do 15 minutes of exercise, you are still a person who trains their body. You are reinforcing the identity of a person of discipline, a person who keeps their promises to themselves. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself in his Meditations, "Assemble your life action by action and be content if each achieves its goal as far as possible, and no one can keep you from this." Your fortress of habit is built action by action. Each day you meet your minimum standard, you lay another brick. Some days you might lay 10. Some days you lay only 1. But you never, ever lay 0. Over time, these bricks form walls. These walls become a fortress. And inside that fortress, the whispers of the lazy genius grow faint, unable to penetrate the solid reality of your discipline. You are no longer defending against chaos. You are living within a stronghold of your own making. Battle 4, the ambush of comfort, resisting the siren's call. You have won the morning. You have started building your fortress of habit. Your momentum is growing. The traitor within is wounded but not dead. It is clever. It will change tactics. If it cannot defeat you with a frontal assault of laziness, it will lay an ambush. The ambush is not pain or hardship. The ambush is comfort. It is the siren's call of easy distraction, cheap pleasure, and the path of least resistance. This is the most insidious battlefront because the enemy's weapons look like rewards. They look like the things the lazy genius believes he deserves. It's the endless scroll on social media after a difficult task. It's the video game binge to unwind. It's the junk food that provides a momentary hit of pleasure. These are not rests. They are ambushes. They are designed to drain your willpower, fracture your focus, and bleed away the very energy you need to continue the war. They are the modern-day lotus eaters, offering a fruit that makes you forget your purpose, your journey, and the man or woman you are striving to become. The Stoic virtue to be cultivated here is apatheia. This is not apathy. It is a state of mind free from the control of disturbing passions. It is the ability to observe the pull of cheap dopamine without being enslaved by it. It is the mental toughness to choose the meaningful over the easy. It is to know the difference between genuine, restorative rest and soul-draining escapism. Imagine Elias, our architect, deep into his project. He's been at it for weeks. His fortress of habit is strong. But one afternoon he hits a wall, a critical flaw in his design. The math isn't working. The structure feels unstable. Frustration mounts. His mind is tired. And then the siren's call begins. The traitor's voice, now disguised as a caring friend, whispers, "You've worked so hard, you're burning out. Just take the rest of the day off. Play that new video game. Watch that series. You need to relax your mind, and the solution will come to you tomorrow." The old Elias would have surrendered instantly. He would have called it creative recovery and spent the next 8 hours in a digital stupor, only to wake up the next day feeling groggy, guilty, and even further from a solution. But the new Elias, the Stoic warrior, recognizes the ambush. He knows that flooding his brain with high stimulation, low-value input will not solve his problem. It will only make it harder to return to the deep focus required to solve it. Instead of succumbing, he chooses a different path. He stands up, walks away from his desk, and goes for a long walk. No phone, no music, just him, his thoughts, and the rhythm of his feet on the pavement. He doesn't actively try to solve the problem. He simply allows his mind to be calm, to observe the world around him. He is practicing a form of active, restorative rest, not numbing escapism. And as he walks, his mind, now free from the pressure and the cheap distractions, begins to make new connections. An idea sparks, a different angle, a new approach to the structural flaw. He returns to his desk not depleted but recharged and with a clear path forward. He didn't fall for the ambush. He used the moment of difficulty to cultivate resilience. This is your fourth tactical maneuver, the doctrine of deliberate discomfort. You must learn to lean into the friction. When you feel the pull of a distraction, when your mind is screaming for an easy escape, you must pause and deliberately choose a path of greater, more meaningful resistance. Here's a practical application: the productive procrastination rule. When you feel the urge to stop your primary work and escape into mindless entertainment, you are forbidden from doing so. Instead, you are only allowed to procrastinate by doing another productive, albeit easier, task. If you're a writer stuck on a difficult chapter, you don't watch YouTube. You organize your research notes, or you read a book on the craft of writing. If you're an entrepreneur dreading a cold call, you don't scroll Instagram. You organize your finances or clean your workspace. This does two things. First, it keeps you within the realm of productive momentum. You are not breaking your state of mind. You are simply shifting its focus. Second, it makes procrastination less appealing. The brain seeks the path of least resistance. By making the escape a less pleasurable, yet still productive, task, you will often find that suddenly the original difficult work seems like the more appealing option. You are training your brain to associate the feeling of frustration not with escape, but with a simple pivot. Understand this. Every time you choose the difficult, meaningful action over the easy, empty one, you are forging your soul. You are building true mental toughness. Comfort is the enemy of growth. The siren's call promises peace, but it delivers only stagnation. Learn to love the silence where others need noise. Learn to embrace the focus where others seek distraction. Win the war on comfort, and you will build a mind that is not only powerful but truly free. Battle 5. The Specter of Judgment, Conquering the Fear of the Arena. This is the final battle. It is the one that separates the practitioner from the master. You can conquer your mornings, build a fortress of habit, and resist the siren's call of comfort. But if you cannot win this battle, all your preparations will be for nothing. This is the battle against the specter of judgment. It is the war against the fear of what others will think, the fear of failure, and most terrifyingly, the fear of success. The lazy genius is a perfectionist not because they have high standards, but because they are terrified. Their potential is a shield. As long as their masterpiece remains unfinished, as long as their business remains unlaunched, as long as their transformation remains private, they cannot be judged. In their mind, the potential of what they could be is more valuable than the reality of what they are, with all its inevitable flaws and criticisms. To step into the arena, to publish the book, to launch the product, to show the world your new self is to risk shattering that precious illusion of perfection. So they wait for one more day, one more revision, one more ounce of confidence that will never come. The ultimate Stoic weapon against this fear is the concept of the inner citadel. Marcus Aurelius spoke of a fortress within the mind, a place of peace and rationality that no external event or opinion could ever breach. Your worth, your virtue, your character, these reside within the citadel. The opinions of others, the outcomes of your efforts, the praise or criticism you receive, these are all outside the walls. They can't touch you unless you grant them permission. This is paired with another powerful Stoic idea, amor fati, the love of one's fate. To not just accept, but to embrace everything that happens, good or bad, as a necessary part of your path. Failure is not an indictment of your worth. It is data. Criticism is not an attack on your soul. It is information. Success is not a destination. It is a temporary stop on a continuous journey. Let's witness the final battle of Elias the architect. He has done the impossible. He conquered his mornings, built his discipline, and finished his design. It is brilliant. It is innovative. It is the best work he has ever done. The competition deadline is in 24 hours, and he is paralyzed. The traitor, in its last-ditch effort, unleashes its most powerful weapon, fear. What if they hate it? What if the judges think you're a fraud? What if you've made a critical mistake you didn't see? What if you actually win? Think of the pressure, the expectations. You'll never be able to top it. It's safer to just keep this for yourself. To know you could have won. That's enough, isn't it? Elias feels the cold grip of this fear. It is the same fear that kept him prisoner for years. But now he has been training. He has been building his inner citadel. He retreats into his mind and speaks to himself with the voice of a Stoic. My work is done, he reasons. The design is complete. The effort was virtuous. That is within my control. The judgment of the panel, the opinions of my peers, the final outcome of the competition, that is outside my control. My value is not in the prize. My value was forged in the 5 a.m. alarms, in the hours of focused work, in the resistance to distraction. I have already won the only war that truly matters, the war against my former self. He remembers the words of Marcus Aurelius. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The fear, the risk of judgment, the possibility of failure, this is not an obstacle to his journey. It is the journey. It is the final step. To refuse to take it is to invalidate everything that came before. With a steady hand, he uploads the files. He fills out the submission form. He clicks the button, and then he closes the laptop. He does not anxiously refresh the page. He does not seek validation. He has given his best effort. The rest is fate, and he chooses to love it, whatever it may be. The specter of judgment vanishes, powerless against a mind that has fortified itself from within. This is your final tactical maneuver, the act of exposure. You must deliberately and strategically expose yourself and your work to the possibility of judgment. The fear of the arena is only conquered by entering the arena. Your mission is to schedule a day of judgment. Pick a date. Circle it in red on your calendar. This is the day you will launch, the day you will publish, the day you will ask for the promotion, the day you will have the conversation. It must be a fixed, non-negotiable date. This act of scheduling transforms a vague, terrifying someday into a concrete, manageable that day. In the time leading up to it, you will train your mind. Every time the fear of judgment arises, you will practice the dichotomy of control. Ask yourself, is this feeling, this opinion, this possible outcome inside my inner citadel or outside of it? Remind yourself that the effort is yours, but the outcome is not. The true victory is not in the applause, but in the courage to perform. When the day comes, you will act, you will feel the fear, and you will do it anyway. And you will realize a profound truth. The world is far too busy with its own wars to be as focused on your failures as you imagine. And even if they are, their opinions are just noise outside the walls of your citadel. By acting, you prove to yourself that you are the one who judges your effort. You are the one who defines your success. You are the master of your own soul. Conclusion: the war is daily. We have covered the 5 major fronts in your war against one more day. The war against the treason of your own mind. The war to seize the beachhead of the morning. The war to build the fortress of habit. The war against the ambush of comfort. And the final war against the specter of judgment. The lazy genius within you is not a person to be coddled. It is an enemy to be starved, isolated, and ultimately defeated. It feeds on inaction. It thrives on excuses. It promises the comfort of the prison you have built for yourself. The Stoic warrior, on the other hand, is the part of you that craves the freedom of the open field, no matter how harsh the wind or how difficult the terrain. This warrior is not born, it is forged. It is forged in the fire of 5 a.m. alarms. It is forged in the discipline of laying one more brick. It is forged in the deliberate choice of discomfort over ease. It is forged every time you step into the arena, ready to face whatever comes. This is your wake-up call. The life you want, the power you feel stirring within you, the person you know you are capable of becoming. It is not waiting for you in one more day. It is not hiding behind one more piece of information or one more perfect plan. It is on the other side of action. It is on the other side of the war you have been avoiding for far too long. The war on one more day is not won in a single glorious charge. It is a daily campaign, won in 1,000 small choices. The choice to stand up instead of hitting snooze. The choice to do your minimum standard instead of nothing. The choice to embrace boredom instead of distraction. The choice to risk failure instead of guaranteeing regret. The choice is now, not tomorrow, not in an hour. It is in your next breath, your next heartbeat, your next decision. Close this video, turn off the screen, and take one single action, not a plan, an action. Put on your running shoes, write the first sentence, make the phone call. Do one thing, however small, that the traitor in your mind tells you to put off. With that single act, you fire the first shot. You announce your presence on the battlefield. The lazy genius has had its time. Its reign of comfortable, brilliant stagnation is over. The Stoic warrior is awake. Your enemy is waiting. Do not keep it waiting any longer. The war has begun.